Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and this is going to be a video series, and in this series we are going to build Netflix clone using .NET MAUI. So this is the app we are going to build. We have all this menu, we have this main UI menu, we have this main trending movie, we have top rated movies, then we have Netflix original series, then we have these action movies. We can scroll around, we can see other data, and all this data is coming from TMDb. So we are going to integrate TMDb API in this app, and if we click on some movie, let's say we click on Shazam, so it is going to open up a info box which shows the main the release year, main thumbnail, a short description, and all these buttons. We can check other as well, and after that Shazam, we can click on anywhere or details and more to open up the main detail page, and in this detail page it will load up the data related to this movie, the description, and this trailer, YouTube trailer. Then we can run this trailer from here. We can see this, we can play and pause from here, and then we have these two tabs here, trailers. These are other trailers or other videos related to this, and then we have this more like this. So this is the kind of similar movies related to this, the one we are seeing right now. So this is the app we are going to build in this video series. So let's get started. So I have created this project in .NET 7, .NET MAUI project, and I named it Netflix clone MAUI. And I have not done anything, I just simply ran it, and I have just copied over a couple of images and these Poppins font. So we are going to use this Poppins font. So now let's start it. So first thing we need to do, we need to change this Open Sans regular font. We are going to use this Poppins fonts. So Poppins, and then we are going to rename this. Let's search for it in complete project, find all, and we have this at couple of places in style.xml file, the main style. So let's rename it here, and we'll name it Poppins regular and Poppins semibold. Fine, and we are going to rename this Poppins regular. 10 occurrences, and then semi-bold, open sans semi-bold, and there is no reference. Okay, fine. So we are good with this. Now first thing we will check. So we are going to use TMDb API for this data. So for that, let's go to TMDb. So you can simply search for TMDb. Some of you might already know about this. So this is a database of media, movies, TV series, original series. So we can get the data for free with, of course, some limited support. And then here I have already created my account. You could create your account, then you could go to settings, and in settings we have this API. So you can create API key from here. So let me go here, and you can simply check all the details. You can create API key from here, then we are going to use that API key. For me, this is my API key. I'm going to, when you will see this video, I'm going to revoke this key. I'll generate a new key so that you cannot use this API key. You will need your API key, and then we can see here popular, we have upcoming trend, we can see there are a lot of movies and TV series. We are going to use this API. Next thing is, let's install the packages we are going to use in this app. So manage NuGet packages, and we'll use our community toolkit .mvvm and MAUI both. So first let's install mvvm, community toolkit mvvm, accept. If it's done, and next thing is community toolkit MAUI. And after that, MAUI, we need this use MAUI community toolkit in our MAUI program. So here let's use this. Fine. And now in this we are going to use HTTP client factory to make HTTP calls to TMDb API. So for that we need another package, and that is called Microsoft Extensions HTTP. Microsoft Extensions HTTP. So this is for using HTTP client factory in our app. And this is also done. Fine. So we have installed all our packages. Now next thing is, let's create couple of folders. So first thing, we need services. So we'll create a TMDb service. Then next folder, let's create a models folder. Then let's create a view models folder, and pages folder. We are going to have our pages in this. And then next is controls. We will create reusable controls in this. Next thing is, now this main page, let's move this main page to pages folder, and let's change the namespace to pages, and we'll use this same thing in here without pages. So I think we are good now. Let's build the application. And there is some error. It says Netflix MAUI. Okay, in here local. So let's remove this, and XMLNS, we'll call it pages, and we'll check pages, and let's use this pages here. Okay, so let's build it again. So build successful. So first thing, let's create our main tab bar. So for that, in our app shell.xml file, we will create a tab bar, and in this tab bar we are going to add our tabs. So we could have this like this, tab and then this, but this app shell.net MAUI, it supports if we have direct shell content children inside this tab bar, then it automatically considers these as tabs. So we should be good. So shell content, first is home, and for this we will use icons. So I already added those icons in resources images, so we are going to directly use these. So for this we have home tab icon. This is main page. Throughout we could have main page only. Then let's paste it couple of more times. Then the second tab, we need that as games. and the icon is going to be game. And let's have this main page 1, main page 2, main page 3, and the third tab, it is going to be new and hot. So new and hot, and for this the icon is going to be brand Netflix, and the fourth one is going to be our downloads. And for this the icon is going to be same download. Now let's try to run it. So our app is here. We have all these tabs. Now first thing is we need, so you could see the fonts are already changed. Now next thing is we need everything in black color because Netflix the default theme is black. So we'll change everything to black. But before that, yeah, the main thing, first thing we will need our TMDb data, right? So before everything, let's create a service for TMDb. So let's create a class and we'll name it TMDb service. Public class TMDb service, and we are going to use this. So first thing is we will need our private const string API key. So you'll need to generate your API key from TMDb website and then add that key here. Fine. Next thing is we will use our HTTP client factory. So for that we are going to use HTTP client factory, HTTP client factory. And now in this we will we will create multiple simultaneous calls. So for that we will generate the HTTP client using this HTTP client factory dynamically. So for that we can simply register it, or we can get it private HTTP client. So let's call it HTTP client, and we'll get it from HTTP client factory dot create client. And now in this create client, if you see, we have an overloaded method for this which takes a name. So this name will create this. So let's have a constant here, public const string, and let's call it HTTP client name only, HTTP client name, or let's say TMDb HTTP client name. And we could name it whatever we want. Let's have it as TMDb client, and we will use this inside here. Now the next thing is I made this one API key as private and TMDb HTTP client name as public. So I made it public because we need to use this to register our HTTP client factory. So let's go to MAUI program, and in our MAUI program we will simply register it. So let's come here, we'll say builder dot services dot add HTTP client. We will register this, and if we see, we have this overload which takes one name and a action delegate to configure this HTTP client. So first thing is name. We know we have our name in TMDb service dot TMDb HTTP client name, and the next thing is HTTP client configuration. So we will set this HTTP client and we'll register this. So the thing we are going to register here is we will set the base address, and this base address, this is going to be a new URI, and this is going to be our TMDb URL, and that is https api dot themoviedb.org. So this is the base address for this. Now we have joined all the PCs. So we are registering this and we are using this inside our TMDb service. So whenever we are going to say create client, it will create a new HTTP client with this configuration. So the base address, it will generate us for us. Now we are in here. So now next thing is we need some URLs. So for those you can try the TMDb API. You can check the URLs from here. You can check the API here. Documentation basically. You could check this server API reference, and we have all these URLs here. So discover 3 is the API version, 3/discover/movies/search movie. So there are a lot of APIs you could check. We can check the movies using this URL. This is the base URL we set, then /3 discover movie TV series. We could find by ID, we could find by genres, and we can get the movie details and so many things from it. Movie details from here, similar movies using this API. So all these API we can check. So I have already curated the URLs which we are going to use. So for that, let's create a class here which we'll call public static class, and we'll call this, let's say, TMDb URLs. So in TMDb URLs, we'll create couple of constants. So public const string, let's have trending. So the base URL we already set, and after base we will use 3 trending /all /this week. So we are going to use these, and we will get all the trending movies and TV series for language ENUS. So let me get all the URLs which we are going to use. So we have these URLs for trending, Netflix originals, top rated, and action. You could add others as well. You can play around with TMDb API. You can add others. Then I have these static methods to get the trailers, movie details, credits. I don't think we are going to use this credit, so let's remove this. And then similar. So for these we need, because trailers, movie details, and similars, we need a movie ID. So I have created these as these helper utility methods. So for these we'll pass the movie, then we'll generate the URL /3/ the type, this is movie or TV, then movie ID, this is dynamic /videos, and same goes with for all other similar and details about that movie. So these are the all URLs we are going to use in this. Now next thing is we need to get the types. So you could try to send the request to these URLs. So for example, this trending. So let's send a request to this trending endpoint. So first thing we have api.themoviedb.org slash this URL and API key equals our API key. So let me get my API key. And we have this data. So we have this data, we have this page, then we have this results collection, which has the details of movies. So it has these, if this movie is adult or not, backdrop path, ID, title. This ID is TMDb ID. Then title, original language, original title, overview, poster path, and so many things. Complete details about that movie. Then this is the second records, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, then others. So for these, we need types, C# class types to map uh, these results to a C# classes. So for those also, I have already generated those classes. So let me add those classes. Let me copy those from off screen. And these are all those records, all those types we are going to use. So we have this movie, page, results, total pages, total results. So just we saw we are going to use this results. So and this result, it has all those backdrop path, genre IDs, ID, original title, original name, overview, all these. Then we have this media type, movie or TV. And then for now, let's ignore these. And we have others as well. Videos, rapper, video, movie detail, all these. Genre, I miss genre. So all these types, I have generated these already. So I'm just pasting it. So you don't see me typing all these. We are not going to use all these, but in order to deserialize the data we are getting from TMDb API, we need to do this. Now in result, I have added these properties. These are not the direct part of this response. So that's why I made these read-only computed properties. So first thing is thumbnail path. So for thumbnail path, we have poster path or backdrop path. So the problem here is sometimes this API, it could give us poster path and sometimes this is going to be null. So for those cases, we are going to use this backdrop path. So this thumbnail path, we could assume that there will always be a value either from this one or this one. Then we have this main thumbnail. So the thumbnail, it actually gives us the direct, it does not give us complete URL. So if we check it in our JSON link, so here you could see backdrop path, it gave us this key with .jpg, but the complete URL it didn't give us, right? So same goes for this poster path. So it gave us this URL. So we need to generate this URL complete. So the initial path is this https image tmdb org tp w600 and all this. So I have already generated this. So this thumbnail, we are going to use this thumbnail because this is the complete image path. Then we have this small thumbnail. We are generating this as well. Thumbnail URL, I don't think we are going to use this, but let's see. Then we have display title. So to get the title, we have these 4 properties. So we'll get it wherever we find the value. So it could be from title. If title is null, it will try to get it from name. If name is also null, then it will try to get it from original title. And if that is also null, in that case, it will try to get it from original name. So all these things. Okay. enough talking. Now let's try to get the data. So first thing is, let's get the trending movies. So for that, let's create a method, public async task, and we'll use enumerable of, this is going to give us result, because result is the type it returns, right? It will give us this movie, and from movie we will need this results object, which is a results array. To results, let's say get trending, and in this we will get our data. So we'll say trending equals await, and we'll get our HTTP client. So it will give us a new HTTP client with the TMDb as base URL. And now we will use the method which says get from JSON async. So this is kind of shorthand method which does two things for us. First thing, it generates a get request, then it deserializes the request. So the alternate is going to be, we could use the get async or get string async, then we can deserialize the response. But we are going to use this shorthand. So for this, first thing we need to tell that what is the type we want it to deserialize the response to, which is this one. Then we'll need to set the URL here. So URL is, we have created this TMDb URLs class. So from here we will use this trending. Now we need to add our API key to all the requests. So we will use this API underscore key equals, and now we are going to get our API key. So it will give us all trending movies. Now the type of this trending movies is a movie object, but we need result, and that we can get from this using, or maybe let's call it trending movies collection. We'll return trending movies collections dot results. This results is a array of result which can easily be converted to enumerable of result. So we have now enumerable of result. So we successfully created a request. Now let's register this TMDb service to our service collection basically. So here let's add it as singleton. So builder.services.add singleton, and let's add it like this. So I am not using any interface for this. You could use it if you want. I am just directly registering this service, and now we will use this service directly to test if everything is working. We'll use this in our main page. So builder.services. For that also let's use the add singleton of main page as well. And now let's go to main page, and in main page we will inject our TMDb service. So this is our TMDb service to MDB service, and let's call it TMDB service, and let's override the onAppearing method, and in here let's have the trending movies, or let's call it trending only. And now we'll use the trending movies dot get trending, and let's rename this get trending to get trending async and await it. Now we have trending movies collection in here. Public override. What is the issue? Async. Fine. So let's check if we are getting this data or not. Yeah, but before that, let me add the API key as well. So let me copy it from off screen. And now let's run it. So the app is here. Let's check if we got data. Yes, in trending we got 20 results, and if we expand this, we'll see we have Dungeons and Dragons. We have this URL for thumbnail. If we check this thumbnail, and we have all the data, right? This is media type for this is movie, this is an overview, poster path. So we are getting data. That means the linking, the connection between our app and TMDb API, that is working. We are getting the result. Let's see what is this poster path, what this thumbnail URL gives us, and it is giving us this Dungeons and Dragons, this thing. So everything is working so far. Fine, we can continue or we can just stop. Now, next thing is we are going to add other methods as well. So if you remember, we need action movies, we need TV, Netflix originals, we need top rated movies, all those. So we'll add those methods and we'll start designing this main page. So that is what we are going to do next. So that's it for this video. So please do subscribe my channel if you don't want to miss the notifications whenever I upload the next part, and like this video, share this video, and subscribe my channel. I'll be back with next part very soon. Bye bye.